Hello everybody and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo, where we're continuing from where we left off. I noticed that I'm a little out of breath, having taken the stairs two at a time in order to get here. My heart doesn't seem to mind the strain though. I file the happy fact away from later consideration. Then, oh wait, what? Like when I am not staring somewhat dumbstruck at my girlfriend in a wheelchair. Realizing I'm not responded to her greeting, my brain lurches into gear. Emmy? What happened? Guess I should have listened to you, Hasao. My leg's got a nasty infection. I'm not allowed to run for at least a couple of weeks. She gives a bitter laugh, and that shouldn't be coming from her. Huh, can't even walk on it. I could have had a crutch that kept one on my leg, but I didn't see the point. Why hop? You can't run on one leg. At least this way I still can, I don't know, roll fast or something. Yeah, that's good, right? Sorry I'm breathing out through my nose. My awkward attempt to look on the bright side seems appreciated, but not really effective. Amy shrugs again. It's just kind of a nuisance. I mean, we can't even eat on the roof now. No wheelchair access. Yeah, but that's not a big deal, right? I mean, we could still eat together, and that's the important thing. That lopsided grin again. It hurts to look at it. I suppose so. Yeah. But like I said, it's a nuisance. I mean, I haven't really used a wheelchair in, she thinks for a minute, maybe 7 years? Something like that anyway. A long time. I'm afraid I'm a bit out of practice. Well, fortunately, it's only temporary, right? And me nods. Oh yeah, of course. It's not like I've lost them permanently. But it's a pain in the ass all the same. I nod sympathetically. There's not much I can do, after all. What am I supposed to do? Say, I told you so. I told you so? Although I did tell her to get that leg looked at. By the time I noticed, it was too late anyway. Do you need help with anything? Or, that is, can I help you with anything? Amy shakes her head and there's a bit of usual grin back. Nah, I can manage fine by myself. Although if you want to help me over to my bed, it would save me the trouble of rolling over there myself. I blush, in spite of myself. Amy giggles. You're such a prude, Hasao. Not a prude. I just wouldn't want to take advantage of a young woman such as yourself. It's ungentlemanly. Ungentlemanly. I wheel Amy's chair to her bed and easily scoop her up and deposit her there. She quickly sorts herself out and sits on the side. She's actually a little heavier than she looks. It would be rude of me to observe this aloud, of course. Man, you're kind of heavy. Emmy hits me with a pillow. Ass. Just saying, it's all. Must be all that running. At the mention of running, Emmy grins and falters slightly. Well, I guess I won't have to worry about that for a bit, huh? Maybe I'll lose some weight. That's what you do to lose weight, right? Cease physical activity. I'm pretty sure that's what nurse would recommend. Speaking of which, are you going to still be showing up in the morning? I hate to run a... Aw, shit. Emmy's sudden introduction more a disquieted muttering than anything too profound causes me to look over in shock. Sorry. Sorry about that. She's leaning forward, trying to cover the fact that she's crying, but covering her eyes with a hand. Of course, the subdued sobbing makes it pretty obvious that she's crying. Hey, I'm sorry. Forget I said anything, okay? I place a hand gingerly around her and pull her close. I think of nothing else to say or do. How to comfort somebody who's just lost their legs again. Emmy wraps me in a hug and stays like that for a while. Sorry. I'm pretty bad at the whole comforting thing, I guess. Don't say that. Fine, really. Her voice is slightly muffled by my chest. I pat her head reassuringly. That's the spirit, right? You'll get through this fine, I know. Besides, I'm here to help you, remember? Emmy lifts her head and stares at me with tear-stained eyes. Can you? Can you really? She's grinning lopsidedly and something sparkles in her gaze. I can't tell if I'm being mocked or not. Of course, I mean, sure, you're a bit heavy. Oh. My witty comment is cut off by the sudden press of Emmy's lips on mine. I'm caught off guard and am rewarded by hitting my head on the wall behind her bed. Owie! And he pulls back, trying to look concerned rather than she's looked about to laugh. Are you okay? Sorry. I rubbed my head ruefully and grinned back at her. Caught me off guard there. Is that going to become a habit? Am I going to be lectured by Shizune and Bishop more? At the mention of the duo, Emmy giggles. Honestly, those two. If I didn't know why, I'd be utterly confused as to why she hangs out with someone so bossy. Which one are you talking about? You know exactly which one is Sal. Misha's hardly bossy. So what's the reason then? Huh? The reason why Misha hangs around Shizune. Emmy waves my question off with a smile. No idea. I see. Anyway, you seem to be forgetting the original question, don't you? Oh yeah, I guess I am. You wouldn't mind giving a guy a little warning, would you? Otherwise, I'm liable to wind up with a concussion. I emphasized the point by rubbing the back of my head. Emmy giggles madly. You could wear a helmet. Some kids here do, you know. Or I could just take revenge. I grab a pillow from beside me and whack Emmy over the head. Emmy topples off the bed and lands on the floor with a thump. Her arms promptly reappear on the bed, and she manages to pull herself back up. She really has a surprising amount of strength in that little body. Her face is turned downwards and away from mine, making me think I might have accidentally hurt her. Emmy, you okay? You didn't hit your... A hand shoots up and grabs my collar. She pulls me in for a sharp tug. Her face now barely an inch away from mine, and she grins cheekily. Emmy? She gives me a sharp headbutt on our foreheads, making quite a loud thud. I sit back and rub my now sore head as Emmy smirks victoriously. How's that for revenge? No fair. You can't take revenge for revenge. For someone missing most of her legs, Emmy's surprisingly agile. I swipe at her, but she deftly rolls out of the way and lands a hit with her pillow. Of course, the odds are against her. I can stand up for starters. Ooh. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Guess I can't after all. Emmy seems to have effectively tripped me up, and now I'm sitting primely astride as I lay on my back. I'm not even sure how she managed it. I win. Her eyes twinkle mischievously. I've I've been thoroughly defeated, and by a girl that's a fraction of my size at that. Then again, being defeated doesn't seem quite so bad. Emmy's being positioned over my waist isn't something that I or my body can ignore easily. I open my lips to speak, but Emmy's head darts downwards before I can get so much as a word out. I give no resistance as she presses her mouth to mine. Not that I want to. This is different somehow. She pulls me back, nips at my lower lip, and reinstates the embrace. Reinstates the... I don't know. Her tongue darts inside my mouth, exploring. Gross. I can feel the warmth spreading through my body as my heart begins to beat faster. My mind starts to go foggy, and I become vaguely aware of my hand traveling up Emmy's blouse. Oh my god! Things are getting a little bit interesting. Emmy's gasp as I reach a breast. Oh my god. Then there's a giggle, and then I stand up at a grinning Emmy. Told you, that makes my second win now. What? That doesn't count. Used feminine wills. All's in fair in love and war, right? Ha! And you're even blushing. I didn't know you were a blusher, Sal. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So, we'll continue from here. I'm just warning you guys right now that there is nudity, so I'm gonna take that out altogether, so I'll be stopping once it becomes nudity. Okay, so let's continue. You were blushing too, you know, probably because of your prudish ways. Even I've got to admit this is a stupid thing to say to a woman who is currently straddling me and has been, up until a few seconds ago, playing tossle hockey with me. A prude, am I? Well then, let's see who blushes first, shall we? I'm not sure whether the tone of her voice terrifies or arouses me. But the question is quick, rather moot. Okay, this is where the nudity is, so I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, I'm back, and I guess I'll go over what happened in the nude scene. So we finished like messing around, and we were talking about who blushed first. Nobody noticed who blushed first, so yeah, and then Rin walks in on us talking about how she wants to see a cloud that passed by her room. And the cloud passes, I guess, and it changed shape. She was disappointed. She leaves, and we both laugh at how weird that she didn't notice that we were both naked, or didn't care that we weren't naked. That we were naked. And so let's continue. The sunlight breaks through my window shortly before my alarm ruins the morning silence. I feel sore. The event of the previous evening suddenly intrude upon my consciousness, and I find myself blushing. That was an eventful evening, and it explains perfectly the soreness in my lower back. I walk back as I recall, and what? The walk back, as I recall, had been rather tense. My trousers having been soiled, I had washed them off in the bathroom before going back to my room. but there was still fairly obvious looking stain on the front. Fortunately for me, the only person I ran into on my way back was Kenji, and he didn't notice a thing. Well, apart from being in the general vicinity. Of course, he asked me how the night went, and whether or not I learned anything of importance. I don't know. I don't even know if I opened my mouth to answer. I was too tired to care. And this morning, I'll admit I'm feeling pretty worn out. Still, Emmy had promised to beat me at the track, and I'd hate to disappoint. She's indeed waiting for me when I arrive, doing her best to look cheery despite the fact that she's sitting in a wheelchair. I wave to her and begin stretching. You're early. Emmy frowns and shakes her head. Ridiculoso. Tu eres late. Overslept herself. All tuckered out. At least she's more like her old self. And as expected, she doesn't seem that shy about mentioning our previous activities. Ha ha ha. Well, you're lucky I could show up at all. All that cardiovascular activity last night, I nearly thought I had to go see the nurse afterwards. Amy laughs out loud, and then her face suddenly becomes concerned. Hey, that's not a... I mean, you're not... Go on. Spit it out. It's just that it would be hard to explain if you had an episode while we were... Oh. That sounded kind of weird. Now that she mentions it, it really is a legitimate concern. I don't like that word legitimate. I don't like that word. I certainly hadn't thought of it last night, of course. Other more pressing concerns had been at hand. Well, I don't think anything we do is going to be any more of a strain than these warning runs. I handle those fine, so... Amy considers this point. A devious light appears in her eyes. Whoa, look at that face. Say. Huh? The light vanishes, and Amy grins ruefully at me. I can't help but feeling vaguely suspicious. I seem to have forgotten a pair of gloves. What do you need gloves for? Amy indicates the chair upon which she is sitting. For this, of course. She regularly moves around in all what? She regular moving around and all well and good without them, but I want to be able to get a good workout. To get that kind of speed, you gotta have gloves if you don't want blisters. So what are you whistling out on me then? Do you have to do it? Do I have to go it alone? Emmy thinks for a minute or pretends to think. If I remember right, there's a spare pair. That rhymes. Or two in the track shed. So she does seriously want to do it then. But in her normal school uniform? I'd expected her to wear her gym outfit for something like that. Wait, what are they doing there? Emmy looks askance at me. Seriously? You can't think of why a shed full of track supplies at a school for the disabled wouldn't have racing gloves? Sorry about that. Just my nose is all clogged up. Probably makes me sound weird. Well, when you put it that way, I suppose that makes perfect sense. Hey, I'm still getting used to this place. Give me a break, huh? I guess I can let it slide this time. Now come on, I need your help. I can't imagine what for, but then again, I don't have a clue why racing gloves would be in a shed, so I'm not willing to press the issue. Amy navigates her way to the shed easily enough, then I can hear her grumbling under her breath. It's actually kinda cute. I hurry a little to reach the door first. Opening it will be easier for me than for her. The door opens and Emmy starts to wheel inside, only to come to a sudden halt at the doorway. It seems the door still is slightly too high for her to get over by herself. She makes a few runs at it unsuccessfully, before crossing her eyes and glaring at the offending object. Stupid wheelchair! Sir, can you give me a hand here? Sure, no problemo. Excuse me. Sorry. It's my stupid nose. It's a simple enough matter for me to bump Emmy over the doorway, jostling her slightly. Hey, easy there, take it easy. Oops, sorry. It's about this time that I fail to notice where I'm going and run Emmy's chair into a mat. She gives a startled yelp and she topples forward out of her chair. There's a moment of silence as I gaze in horror upon what I've done, and Emmy glares at me. Hassao. Yeah? Promise me you'll never work at a hospital. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Emmy giggles and holds up a hand. Would you kindly help me back up into my chair, Sal? As I bend down to pick up Emmy, she grins in triumph and pulls me into a kiss that quickly has us both entirely unconcerned about getting her back into her chair. In fact, as I move to a more comfortable position, I confess that the chair is pushed out the door, which startled by the passage swings shut. What? I confess that the chair is pushed out the door, which startled by the passage swings shut. Okay, so there's nudity right here, so I think I'll stop it here for tonight. So next time I'll tell you what happens. Well, you probably know what's gonna happen. They do the dirty. So we'll just continue, and I'll tell you. I'll just brief you over it, like 007. So next time we'll continue. So see you guys later.